My two favorite ways are the two ways that are in the middle, and they have to do with referrals. A referral from somebody trusted external to the organization. As an example, maybe I'm going to pick on Patrick a little bit. Patrick knows Todd. I need to get in front of Todd. I'm going to leverage him and secure his help, always by offering a favor in return, I might add.
Thank you.
And he is going to help get me that introduction. 50% of the time you can get that meeting. How about using a strategy to leverage somebody inside an organization that is trusted and respected, and you get them to sponsor you in? Now what do you think the percentage of securing that meeting is? It is definitely elevated. What do you think it is?
80%.
Close. 84% of the time. This is research from Selling to the C-Suite, by the way. Right? Nobody's taking your cold calls as a general rule. Are you very successful with a lot of cold calls? That's my point. They don't pick up the phone. You know, I'm young enough to remember when answering machines came into being. They bought the book. All right, so they had done a tremendous amount of homework on me by the time we had the phone call. What happened to the sales cycle in that moment? It went from here to here. Deal was done. Only talked price and logistics. Frankly, I probably could have asked for more money. Here's the reality. You've got to get rid of these pitches. I don't care about the features and benefits of your product yet. You need to help me see why I need it. All right? So it's a whole different kind of mindset. And the salespeople who use these tools to crank out the sales spam are doing two things. One, they're not going to get the sales opportunity, but secondarily, they are hurting their own brand. How many of you have seen sales spam on LinkedIn? I know you have. How many of you? Right? You guys are all getting them. How does that land for you when you receive something out of the blue from somebody with a, hi, let me tell you all about my stuff? How's that work for you? It's okay to send messaging to people who don't know you yet, but it's the way you craft the message, which we're going to talk about, okay? So my point is, most of us receive sales stuff that's not well thought out, and it's not relevant, and it has nothing to do with you, and it's clear that these folks are only using the platform to crank out this message to more and more people, hoping, it's like calling 1,000 people out of the Yellow Pages, hoping somebody will take your call. We need to be even smarter today about selling than we've ever had to be. So how you are successful in this new space, you need to have the great sales skills that you have today. And even though I've been selling professionally for 29 years, I learn something every single day. So I know you're doing the same. Got to have the great business skills. You must have business smarts. If you're going to succeed in today's world, you've got to be social savvy. Very, very important. How do you succeed? Pretty easy. You have a plan. And you make sure that you target your audience. And so let's talk about that for just a moment. Who do you sell to? All right, so I bring this up because there is a common myth among salespeople that whatever you sell, you can sell to everyone. Now, I'm not disagreeing that that's the case, but what's the problem with trying to sell to everyone? Yes, your message becomes ambiguous. I like to say that when you are trying to sell to everyone, you are selling to no one. And when you're thinking about how you differentiate yourself in the social selling space, you better be very clear who you are targeting, because you're going to need to understand their pain, the issues they face. Follow them, follow their competitors. If you're trying to sell to everybody, you're going to have a problem. You're diluting your efforts. So again, I don't disagree that you have conversations with various people in the organization, but be very clear who you're targeting and what they care about. Some other things from LinkedIn. Do you know that those people who have a profile that is 100% complete, that has a value-packed sort of summary statement, and you've taken the time to fill in the experience areas, 7 times, hear me, 7 times more likely people will reach out to you. So when you go back and you look at that profile, and I challenge each of you to kind of help each other, think about it from the buyer's perspective. Think about it if you're the buyer. Would that information sort of compel you? All right, social is important. You need to demonstrate that you know what's going on. And so even if you're nervous about it, just start dipping your toe in and use it. It can get you all kinds of traction. Sales opportunities will come to you in all kinds of ways. People, when you're sending invitations to connect, personalize the invitations. Do not send, hey, you're a person I trust. Hey, you're a friend. Or the standard, and my personal favorite, I'd like to add you to my professional network. Okay? Now, you need to know, if you use a mobile application, you cannot personalize. Don't invite people from the mobile phone. Go to the profile and take a moment to personalize. Why do you think that's so important? Definitely drive the acceptance rate. And if you're going to extend an invitation to me, just remind me how we know each other or how we're going to be of value to each other. I'm looking for reciprocal opportunities. I want to help you as much as hopefully you might be able to help me. Don't argue, don't pitch, don't misrepresent. Okay? I've seen people get into arguments on LinkedIn. It's ridiculous. Something like, hey Barb, I notice you're a public speaker, or blah, 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 whatever it might be, but give them a reason why, all right? I notice you do these things, I have some ideas, here's one way we've helped clients. You might even say, I'm not sure if I can help you yet, if you're willing to give me 10 minutes. Now, can I promise 100% that you will always get the meeting? No. But I guarantee you that if you do it that way versus the other way, you have a much higher likelihood of getting that meeting and that phone call. And here's the other reason why you will. Your competitors are doing the same thing and they're horrible. Horrible. With the research too. You do have time. It doesn't take but a couple of minutes, and especially once you get the hang of it, you have the time to do the homework before you reach out to somebody. And that approach, even if you might be a little nervous that it feels like stalking, trust me, the executive on the other side will appreciate you did some business homework. All right. Any of this helpful? Yeah. All right.